it is your turn to set an example in how that you are dealing with it. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and now my long-awaited start to the Chinese Zodiac, who are just as late this month as I seem to do them every month. I might as well start scheduling them for mid-month. Now, this is if you were born in the year of the rat. It's a general reading, so obviously general reading rules apply. You know, timing is far from absolute. Roles sometimes can get reversed. My readings tend to be pretty as in the querent focused, so I'm not sure how often that happens, but I believe it's polite to say so on YouTube. Now, you can ask a question prior to this reading. Whether it gets answered or not is another matter, but take a moment and think about the questions that surround you. Focus upon one of them, but be aware of all of them because the cards will answer what they want. But your active focus should give energy to this process, and hopefully I will return that energy to you in the form of an appropriate reading. Otherwise, the universe will find a way. So there is links down there for birth to a Western Zodiac birth chart if you want one, so that you know what your rising and your moon sign are, because I always talk about those, although that's irrelevant here. There's the link to the Facebook page where I tend to put forward not just my videos but the astrologers that I'm watching, and really that's all of the housekeeping waffle for that I need on the Chinese Zodiac readings. Obviously, if this resonates with you, please do comment down below. Let me know. So then I don't just think I'm just talking nonsense to a camera in my own room. But also a like helps the video get seen, and I'm still a young channel, so a subscribe would be lovely. It really does help with the whole Google politics thing, as Christopher Witecki puts it. Right, let me bring the cards up, because that's you don't tune in to listen to my waffle, you tune in to listen to me talking about cards. And there is a very, even before I look at all the tarot cards, there is a very, very distinct message coming through here. We have the Oracle cards stuck in the mud. We have Hexagram 62, the preponderance of the small. We have the Nectar of the Lotus from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck. All of these are saying the same thing. They are all saying that you're being slowed down, that obstacles are being put in your way for your own good. Don't try to tackle a large goal right now. Now is the time to take care of the details. Now is the time to take care of the small print. Now is the time to divide whatever you are trying to accomplish into little steps, and just take the victories as they come. Small steps, each one a victory, rather than one large leap and leaving yourself for failure. Because there is a huge ability in your circumstances right now for the world to get you down, for the world to actually really cause you to feel stifled. And I think we can see this also within the tarot, with the preponderance of number 5s that you have here. We have, oh, I didn't even notice that. We have the Hierophant for one thing, Major Arcana number 5. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. Yeah, that's pretty much it for your 5s. But if you look at where that 5 of Pentacles is, we've got the 9 of Wands, that sense of nearly there, but the wounded warrior at the same time. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I've fought so hard. Six of Wands indicating victory. So you've fought so hard for what it is that you've been working towards. You've really been pushing forward and you've had a series of small victories. And that is why I concentrate on the small things, because they will perpetuate that sense of victory, which is quite important, because Seven of Wands here showing some form of defensiveness needed, and I would say normally I would say defensiveness felt, or a meeting of peers, but with this particular card it's defensiveness needed. It's required. It's there is some form of challenge coming up that creates quite a bit of debate within the family, but you are, bear in mind, family. Whether that means your family, or whether that means your colleagues, or whether that means, you know, friends, organisation, however the word family is relevant to your situation that you've been working towards something, you can rely upon the support of the people around you, or at least, right, that's it, because we also have the follow the leader card here. This obstacle that is coming up, or that you are facing right now, it is your turn to set an example in how that you are dealing with it. But you can do that with taking the advice, taking the debate, taking the information of the people around you. Yes, your family, or yes, your close friends, or yes, your close colleagues. But certainly there's that element of closeness for who you need to be discussing with. But beware, I would say, of, even though there is a call to defend your thing, whatever your thing may be, you can end up being a little bit too protective over your harvest. And you must remember that it is all basically, this is your thing. You know, when I said your thing, I mean your thing. You are doing this on your own. But the way you are handling this obstacle is setting an example, setting a tone for the behavior of people around you. Because I think a lot of people are a little bit misinformed, I think would be a polite way to say it, or deluded, you know, there's or definitely have been picked up by some form of vibe of, some form, I feel, of surprising vibe of getting sucked into something, getting sucked into something that's not necessarily true. But you have to be relying on yourself here. That sense of isolation that you have, yeah, you can take steps to combat that isolation, but do not forget that that isolation is actually quite useful for you, because you are doing what you are doing out of a sense of love, and that includes standing to be an example to those around you, especially those who seem to have drank the Kool-Aid on something, is what that sense that I'm getting. Moon, Knight of Cups there. I mean, with Knight of Cups, sorry, King of Cups, Knight of Cups, there is quite a sense of loving reasons motivating everything. I'm not going to turn around and say that there's any love offer here. There isn't. You're too busy. You know, you are way too busy with stuff that's going on. But you have the ability to create an end of pain, an end to strife. But bear in mind that you need to, even if you are not getting those that you call your family on side, you need to debate with them whatever it is that you are trying to construct, because conflict is coming, and when it arrives, things will be moving really, really fast. So in the meantime, with that preponderance of the small hexagram next to the locus stuck in the mud, the obstacles that you have right now are giving you, I mean, I would normally do the cliche statement of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but this time what I'm thinking is like pre-flight checks, or if you are go-kart racing, you go around the entire wooden go-kart making sure every screw is tightened, all the nuts and bolts are secure, the bits that need to be greased are greased, the bits that don't need to be greased aren't. Shows how much I know about go-karting. But you get that. It's a treat it as if it's a physical thing, and one defect, just one, could upset the whole process. And that's why you can't surge ahead right now, because you are being guided to look at this. But certainly angel number 555, which I can't remember what it means, but I think it's something about challenge and magic overcoming it by as a reward for what you've done, or even 5555 if you add the Hierophant in. But with that Hierophant, there's that sense of sticking within certain guidelines, and I think that this is the example that you are being called to hold up, because with the influence here of Phanuel, the Angel of Truth, out of the Angelarium Oracle, there is really this sense of truth will be revealed unto you, but also that I feel that you are being a bastion for truth and not getting carried away on some bandwagon or another, which I believe other people are doing. Because what I'm really feeling from that moon card is that push and pull that affects emergency rooms and insane asylums on the full moon, you know, where the word lunatic comes from. And if you are working in any form of job that is dealing with people, especially dealing with people in the nighttime hours, you know the effect of the full moon. You know that people they're just that little bit more exuberant on the full moon in whatever way, shape or form that can manifest itself. You know, whether that's a little more energetic or a little more risk-taking or a little more forceful. You know, there's the full, I'm really feeling that pull of the full moon, and you are being called to defend, but you cannot defend too much. You're being called to hard work. 4 to the 5 of coins here from the in-between tarot, and you're not going to see results immediately, sun reversed, but I don't feel that you're on a bad path with whatever you are trying to achieve, because this obstacle wouldn't be put in your way if Spirit didn't want you to achieve what you are trying to achieve. This obstacle, if Spirit didn't care about what you were trying to achieve, then they'd let you achieve it and reap the rewards or the costs of that and learn your lesson that way. But here, there's a distinct sense of slow down. Now, have you fixed that squeaky wheel? Have you replaced that inner tube so that there's no chance of a slow puncture? Have you made sure that the engine is oiled? Have you, yeah, I'm carrying on with my go-kart analogy. Have you, I'm running out of mechanical things to say, but you get the idea that everything is tuned, everything is fitting together perfect. There is flexibility where there needs to be flexibility. There is solidity where there needs to be solidity. Because with discussion and debate with your family, whatever that may be in this situation, there is a chance for an end to some form of pain, an end to, I don't even want to say torment. It is here, this 9 to the 10 of Swords is an end of pain, clarified by the Queen of Swords. There is a decision that you can take that basically goes, right, enough now. That's it. Enough now. Now, I also pulled a verse from the Tao Te Ching. I haven't read it yet. Okay, so it's verse number 50. Life and death. You know, not too ominous after the everything else that I've just read out. So, emotions and longings are life. Passions and desires are death. There are 13 kinds of life. 7 are emotions, and they refer to the gates of the mind. 6 are longings, and they refer to the gates of the body. There are also 13 kinds of death. 7 are passions, and they refer to the gates of the mind. 6 are desires, and they refer to the gates of the body. There are these 13 kinds of life and death rule also human beings, because one treasures life. He who is good at conserving his life, the defensive urge, here, will not meet the rhinoceros and the tiger on his journey. He can enter a battle without being hurt. The rhinoceros cannot attack him with its horn. The tiger cannot scratch him with its claws. Troops cannot use their swords against him. That is only because he has no place for death to enter. So, take care of all of those small details. Take care of all of those little things. Because somewhere, 2 of Swords on the bottom of the main deck here, somewhere there is something that you have missed. There is something that you are blind to. Now, there's 2 ways I can see that blindness. Either there's something that you need to go over and make sure is straight, or you are blind to the fact how people can get carried away with something, with this moon card here. How they can get carried away with a dream, to be quite honest, that is quite listless. I mean, you've been bored with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, because there's this whole sense with this 4 of Cups here and the Wounded Warrior card here. Are we there yet? Are we not done yet? Am I not there yet? Why have I not achieved this yet? The why is because when you try to do it and you haven't tightened all the screws, tightened all the nuts and bolts, put the right oil in, that you'll come a cropper, that it will all go wrong. But this is something that Spirit wants to go right. Now, I'm going to just read from the Kuan Yin Oracle. The Divine Mother wishes that those who are meant to feed others be well fed too. Your devotion to helping others has the effect of squeezing the cosmic heart chakra of the Divine Mother. From her heart drips nectar, sweet, sustaining, life-affirming energy that feeds you and allows you to nourish many souls. Like a sacred chalice that overflows, when you are full, well and vital, the feeding of others happens effortlessly. You are guided to be fed now, fed with divine nectar from the heart of the Mother. So there is an endless supply of energy, joy, peace, blah, 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 you know, happy energies, bliss and love for you, flowing from the heart of the Divine Mother Kuan Yin. Yet sometimes we may experience limitation instead of endless supply. These limits can be a hidden blessing. They could be a sign that our mind and emotional life could use some help shifting from scarcity consciousness into a consciousness of abundance. As we do this, we tend to relax and flow more easily, tapping into what is needed rather than perceiving restriction. A limit or block in our flow might be telling us that our nervous system needs some time to adapt to receiving higher intensities of spiritual electricity through our system as we become more used to living a joyful, higher vibrational existence. And loads more hippie woo-woo. But there is a reason for this obstacle, and the reason is to get you into the fit state. So whether that's self-preparation or, as I said, tightening the screws, tightening all the nuts and bolts, that's what's important here. Okay then, Rat. If that means anything to you, comment down below and see you next video. Cheers.